Man Brett from the Skateboarding Show here with another episode for you with some ideas to contemplate. I am not trying to tell you what to think. I am not trying to tell you that what I'm saying is absolute truths. They're ideas and their opinions and their points for discussion, and some of you have engaged in some discussion, so I'm very grateful, thank you. Some of you have noticed that there are some recurring themes from some of my older videos. It's because this stuff is going around in my head, and because I haven't done a proper audit of the things that I've done. I haven't done a proper inventory of the ideas that I've covered so far. This is really uncomfortable to hold. That's great. I'm glad I got that sorted before I started filming. Indoors today, it's cold outside. It is Monday afternoon. I had a lovely skate yesterday with my TR7 crew. Not mine, with the TR7 crew, or some of them, a lot of them, 4 of them. There's no secret about the idea that I've known Harry since he was young, and it was just, such pride and such love and just such, like, I'm just so grateful and honoured to know him and to know the rest of the TR7 crew. And it was really lovely to have a skate with them yesterday. So big up TR7. Yeah, so as I say, yeah, some of you have engaged and I'm very grateful and thank you. And these are just my opinions and just my thoughts. And one thing I've been thinking about after the last ramblings is so what is skateboarding, and what I'm about to present is just my idea, because skateboarding is something different for everybody. Of course it is. That's part of the beauty of it. But I wonder if skateboarding is a question. I wonder if skateboarding is a question, and that question is, what are you going to do with your body and this skateboard and this environment that you're in? What are you going to do? What's going to come out of mixing those 3 things together, right? Because that is, to me, that is kind of what happens. What happens is you mix the human body, a skateboard, and some sort of environment, whether that be a skate park, a street spot, a vert ramp, whatever it may be, a flatland area, whatever it may be. You mix those 3 things together and you get what is commonly regarded as skateboarding out of the other side of it, like a process almost. And so to me, in a way, skateboarding is challenging somebody. It's making it, it's calling out a challenge. It's calling you out. It's going, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with that skateboard and that curb, that ramp, that handrail, that set of stairs, whatever it may be? And so that's what I mean by that. In this instance, with that concept, that's what I mean by it's challenging. It's making a challenge. It's making a challenge to you. It's saying, here's the challenge. The challenge is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do mixing those 3 elements together? Which gives you the opportunity to create skateboarding at the end of it, which kind of doesn't exist really, does it? Unless you capture it on film, because any trick you do disappears the moment you finished it. I love that. I really love that about skateboarding, that it disappears. It goes. The moment it's done, it's done. Unless you were there to see it, unless it's filmed, and we'll get into that another time. I think all art poses that challenge and poses that question. Music is asking you, what are you going to do with your human body and your mind, and that's including skateboarding. What are you going to do with your intellect, your body, your mind, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts? What are you going to do with those mixed together with all the notes that exist? And what are you going to do when you mix those together? What's going to come out of it the other side? Because the notes are sort of like the tools of music. The instruments are as well, but the instruments are a way to get to those notes and to make them. So, visual art, painting is asking, what are you going to do It's asking it's presenting the challenge. What are you going to do? What's going to be created? What are you going to manifest when you mix together your body, your thoughts, your mind, your emotions, your feelings, your intellect, your abilities, there's something. What are you going to do when you mix that with these tools of this art? The canvas, the brushes, the paint, the colors, the light, the tone, the shade, the texture. What are you going to do about it? You've got all those things to hand. You've got all those things available. What are you going to manifest at the end of it all? And that, in many respects, is why skateboarding is an art form. It absolutely is an art form. Absolutely. And absolutely, therefore, image is important to it. Absolutely. I'm looking at the idea of certain images and certain images that are portrayed. But image is important. Image is important in all art. What about in music? Is image important? The context is important. Music can make you feel things. Skateboarding can make you feel things. I can feel things. I can look at someone skateboarding and go, wow, that looks really, really amazing. I can look at somebody's technical skateboarding. I love technical skateboarding. Somebody could do a bit of really nice technical skateboarding and it would bring up a real strong emotional feeling in me of like, that looks amazing, that looks beautiful, I love that, I love seeing that, I want to see more of that. And then somebody could do some technical skateboarding that just turns me off and makes me go, I acknowledge it's good, I acknowledge the ability is there, but it doesn't bring up a feeling in me. I could watch somebody skate a ramp and not be impressed and not have a feeling brought up. I could also watch somebody skate a ramp and have lots of feeling come up from it. Yeah, I could watch all manner of different types of skateboarding and it will bring up different emotional feelings. So if skateboarding is a challenge, if skateboarding is a question that only you can answer, perhaps part of the challenge of skateboarding, perhaps part of why skateboarding is not only fun but can be hard, is because you have to be honest about how you're answering that question. Are you answering that question by going, well, I'm going to take myself and this skateboard and this environment and I'm going to do the easiest stuff I can do, and I'm not going to push my boundaries anyway, I'm not going to do anything hard for me, I'm just going to do like a bunch of really easy stuff that doesn't bother me in any way. It doesn't challenge me. It doesn't push my boundaries of what I'm capable of doing. Only you can answer that, and only each individual person can answer that. And I think that's definitely what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at the idea that it's great if and do you know what? No answer that anybody gives is right or wrong. No, to give that answer of, well, the answer to the question of what am I going to do with myself, this skateboard and this environment, to answer that question by going, I'm going to do the easiest stuff I can do, and I'm not going to push my boundaries in any way. That's a perfectly acceptable answer. That is a perfectly acceptable answer. And if that is what you do, that's what skateboarding is for you. I don't think that's what it is for me. That's why I find skateboarding to be something that brings up different stuff for me and brings and both amplifies and quells issues mainly around self-esteem that I have, because I can be answering that question by going, I am just skiving off today, actually. I'm not really pushing my own boundaries of what I can do. And then other times I can be pushing the boundaries and going, wow, I'm really glad I did push that, and I think I skated for me well today, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I was able to answer that question with some authenticity by answering it by saying, what I'm going to do with this skateboard and this environment and myself is I'm going to push the boundaries of what I can do and what I feel like doing. And maybe I push through that. Maybe I say, I don't really feel like doing being at the edge of my boundary limit, but then, well, tough, I'm going to push myself to there. You know, maybe that's what artists do, maybe that's what musicians do, maybe they're all faced with the question of, am I giving my best effort here? Am I giving my best performance here? I don't know. Do you do that? Does it matter? No, it doesn't. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to answer that question. You don't have to do it. You don't have to give your best performance. Of course you don't. Nobody has to do anything. But there's the possibility that it exists. There is the possibility that that challenge put forward to you by skateboarding gives you that opportunity to answer authentically and honestly the question of what you're going to do. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to give it your best? Are you going to push your ability level and your courage level as far as possible? Or are you just going to not do that? And there is no right or wrong. You don't have to do any particular thing or not do any particular thing. I'm just aware that that is a real possibility that exists. And yeah. Is that something you have to do? No. Is that something? Is this a pure definition of skateboarding? No, it's my definition of skateboarding. This personalized definition of skateboarding does allow for failure. It does allow for persistence. It allows for all sorts of issues to come up. It also allows for fun and accomplishment and achievement. Yeah. So I'm not saying that fun is not included in skateboarding. It absolutely is. I think it's a little bit more individualized and complex around the idea of, personally, I think what's happening when we go skateboarding is that we are answering the question, what are we doing when we mix the human form, a skateboard, and the environment around us? Thank you for watching. I love receiving validation. That's why I'm on social media and putting this stuff out there to the world. In terms of skateboarding, all I ever wanted was for the bigger boys to go, hey, you're cool, you're one of us. So I'm under no illusion of the idea of I've got some deep philosophical contribution to make. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just an insecure little boy who wants the bigger boys to like me. Who knows? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. Who knows? Some thoughts, please feel free to comment, because all the social media algorithms love it when you comment. So if you hate what I'm saying, brilliant, please let me know. If you love what I'm saying, brilliant, please let me know, because it works out well for me to play the game of social media. So thank you very much, and maybe I'll have some more Wednesday. I think every day is a bit much, even a bit much for me. It's not, I love it, but yeah. Go skateboarding, please switch this off and actually go and answer the question of what you're going to produce when you mix yourself, your skateboard, and your environment. And if you're as narcissistic as me, put it out there for the world to see. Right, peace, see you later, bye.